All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another installment of Gator Talk with your host, Alex Perez, and I am his sidekick, Adrian Green, and we want to get right into the meat of everything where we
Yeah.
saw the Florida Gators go on the road and compete for a little while with Texas A&M with a score of 34 to 17, in which we saw the Gators get outplayed, outcoached, um, and outcompeted. So, um, yep, we'll kick it off with your host, Alex Perez. Alex, what was your thoughts about the game?
Uh, as always, partner, they went on the road. They they started out mm, very good at the beginning, but at the end they kind of fizzled out there. Am I right?
Yep, I would definitely have to agree with you. Um, as I stated earlier, man, I don't have much to say based off the fact that it's the same old story, it's the same old song, it's the same old responses.
Yeah.
After watching his press conference, he said the same thing that he'd been saying for the last 4 years. We're close. We competed hard. The guys gave it their all. We got out coached. We got outplayed. We made too many mistakes. The other team played clean. We're getting better and we're almost there after 4 years in a row. So I am, um, for lack of a better word, just, you know, deterred, for the just lack of coaching ability and the ability to adapt, And he said
And
he knew what was going on and he just couldn't adapt.
and I I heard for one of my sources, I listened to one of my stations out of Gainesville. It's called WRUF, and they was saying if if the Gators don't win against mm, Mississippi State, which which we're a a a, por- a portion that time. Um, 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 or if he doesn't get a win on the next team, I think he's gonna get fired in the in the in the couple weeks if they can't get it together. Um, what do you think on my ass- assumption?
Man, I think your assumptions are pinpoint accurate from everything that I heard. That's pretty much what I'm hearing from a couple of guys from a couple of my sources, man, is that no matter what he do, if he don't finish the season 8 and 4, um, it's pretty much a wrap, man. It's pretty much a wrap, you know.
Um,
They just not happy, It's the way we look.
are they? Uh, can they have an interim coach like come in? just in case if he gets fired
Y-
from another school, whatever, or
Well, normally when you fire a coach, you're supposed to have somebody on staff that has interim coach experience. And we currently at the moment don't have a interim coach per se, but we got Jaloot who has done some interim head coach work. You got the defensive coordinator who has done some work, and you got Billy Gonzalez on the staff that's done been with multiple championship staffs, so he got some experience as well, to be able to at least coach out the rest of the season. And he was previously an offensive coordinator at a couple of stops as well. So Billy Gonzalez, he got experience as a, you know, wide receiver coach, and he coached on some championship staffs as well. He was up under, uh, Dan Mullen. He was up under Urban Meyer, at a couple of different stops, and he had a stint with LSU as well. So he's been around some championship programs. So he definitely has the pedigree to where if they did have to just say, hey, let's make a drastic decision because, you know, um, is there's a couple of ways from what I'm hearing that Billy could be fired. The moment that he reaches 5 losses, that's the moment that he was supposed to get canned. And the moment that he cannot mathematically win 8 games, that that was supposed to be the end as well.
that
And there's
that
one more stipulation. Mhm. So there's one more stipulation that I heard today on the radio was if Billy Napier loses the locker room, meaning that the players don't want to play for him anymore, he would be fired in that instance that the players don't want to play for him anymore.
well, I I just hope that that everything will be alright in the Gator Nation because we want to to we don't want to lose games. We want to win the games, you know. And if if the coach is not doing doing the job, you know, why why keep him, uh, and if he's not serving the team any justice, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, hence the conversation that me and you having right now in this moment. That's why we're having this conversation because, when you get paid that much money, it's a production business. You do have to produce results. And unfortunately, in Billy's case, he's a low margin for error coach. He doesn't understand what it means. Well, he understands what it means to score a lot of points, but he just doesn't have the wherewithal to score a bunch of points. He want to do it a certain kind of way, and in today's college football, that's not the case. Everything that you see Miami and Texas A&M do to Florida, that's what Florida want to try and do to other teams. But unfortunately, he doesn't have the Jimmies and the Joes to do what he wants to do. And even if he did have the Jimmies and the Joes, he still would lose about 2 to 3 games with that schedule based off the fact of he's a low margin for error coach. The game will be close in the end, and if you throw a pick or if you have a couple of fumbles, you're destined to lose that game. So that's his track record, and that's just what it is.
Like
Hmm.
like when I watch his press conference, when I see his body language up there
Hmm.
at the podium, he like hesitates, you know, to to say to the media, you know, this is it's it. I don't know. It just s- seems like to me that he hesitates to to say to the media the the truth, you know?
Yeah. So, in my opinion, you know, it's almost like he's searching for the right words, which comes off as disingenuous. And
Yes,
I think
yes.
he's being honest. I think that when you look in the mirror and you know that what you're doing isn't good enough, you have to try and find a way to quantify what you're doing so that it makes sense to who you're trying to tell it to. There's an old saying that, you can't pee on my leg and tell me that it's raining. I mean, you just can't do it. You can try, but
Mm.
9 times out of 10, you usually walk away from that conversation with a black eye. So
Um, I mean, do you agree what I'm saying, partner, or do you not? Because
I 100% agree with what you're saying. You right on the money, man. You pinpoint accurate. I have no rebuttals for anything that you said. Like I
I mean,
said, it's hard to find anything to talk about because it's the same old song. What can we possibly say that we haven't said the previous 5 or 6 weeks? What can you say? You gonna say the same thing every week? It's the same thing. We was close, not close enough. We got players. We can't get them in positions to win. We went up against a elitely coached team. This team was coached elitely. Their players, I wouldn't say that much. They better than us, but they wasn't so much better than us to where we couldn't have won that game. It came down to X's and O's and discipline. Everything that he was supposed to be about, Texas A&M showed it. We talked about it. They showed it.
yeah. Uh, and alluding to what Mr. Mike said a couple weeks ago, you know, if if you if you're getting paid that amount of money that that you had mentioned to him on the show on episode 4, um, you know, uh, he was like, you know, where where can we get a coach this late this late in the season? You know, where can we get a um you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think things has to change as far as coaching wise at the University of Florida. I mean, Billy's a nice guy and everything, but it seemed to me on Saturday when I was watching the game on my TV here that you know DJ Lagway didn't know what he was doing. You know, when do you understand what I'm saying?
Right, right. So it's a clip that's going viral of DJ. He was sitting on the sideline and the camera caught a glimpse of him saying some words. And nobody really knows what he was saying, but it's believed that he was saying, "What the H are we calling?" Like, we don't have plays that can puncture a two safety high man under with a little umbrella, and it was dropping, say, like about 8 men deep, rushing three sometimes, and then they'll bring four, drop everybody else, and they was getting pressure with only four defensive linemen, three defensive linemen. And so that's where, if you want to stop a Billy Napier offense, if you can get pressure with three or four D linemen, there's nothing that a Billy Napier offense can do to move the ball. Everything that we tried to do, they was already there. The wide receiver got ready to catch it. The DB was on top of him. We tried to squeeze it into some windows. It's three men around the ball. There was nowhere for DJ to go with the ball. And then when they did go man, they blitzed, and the kid didn't even have enough time to step up in the pocket and try and throw the ball. As soon as he loaded up to throw it, and he brought it up high, they were smacking the ball out of his hand, and it's sad because you know, if I don't have time to throw the ball, we can't get the ball down the field. And then we tried to run the ball, they stuffed us. So they was so disciplined. They played so clean. They didn't have no penalties like that. Like, it was just a masterpiece. Dan, what's his name? Elko. So Elko has built a program at Texas A&M in 2 years. Billy is in year four, and he looked like he's still 2 years away from that level of football. That's the embarrassing part. It's more of an embarrassment than just losing the game. We lose the game, cool, but to get embarrassed like that, that's not cool. So, like I said,
Yeah,
man, we can sit here and repeat each other. The bottom line is it's the same old thing. There's nothing new that I can say to you that I haven't said already. It's like beating a dead horse.
yes, but I agree with everything you you're saying. We can only say our thoughts about the game, and, and we're not professionals at this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But you know, we can sit here and talk about all these games, you know, and like like we can give our opinions, but we're not professionals, you know. But hopefully, you know, I'm sorry. Hopefully, the Gators could like get their heads on the white track and start, you know, winning some of these games left. But as you say, if Billy Napier can't cut it, um, if they lose, what do they got? They got
And they got roughly about 6 more games left. So
if they can't win against um um uh this game or or Georgia, I think it's gonna be the end of the Billy Napier the the Billy Napier era. What do you think? I don't know.
yep, I agree with everything that you said. As always, you've done a wonderful job, and we appreciate everything that you do for the network and for the people that are watching, the ladies and gentlemen around the world that continue to chime in to the Alex Perez show. And once again, I am grateful and thankful to be a part of this show. These are the opinions and thoughts of Alex Perez, not copyrighted by anybody else and no other entities. In closing, I would just say everybody just enjoy the rest of the season. Get ready for a new head coach and support the players and the university. And yeah, it's pretty much over for Billy, and I'm okay with that. And so I look forward to what's next, moving on to the next chapter. So,
And this is episode 6 of our show. As you see on your screen, this is Gator Talk, you know, and hopefully, and I pray, hopefully we can get these two two wins or Billy's out the door.
well, 2 wins or not, Billy is done. All the boosters, all the alumni, all the coaches, it's a done deal, Alex. Billy is out the door no matter what he does. If the Gators are serious about football, they'll go ahead and get rid of him. And like I said, from all of the sources that I hear from, it's a done deal. He's not
Eh,
gonna probably beat Georgia. He may beat Mississippi State, but I mean, it's we just holding our breath into the next bloodbath. So it's
And
it's a wrap.
and and all I can say is what I heard on the radio and what you heard is 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 true. It's accurate. You know, if Billy cannot show us what he's got, he's out the door. I I I he's a great co- he's a great guy. He's a great family man, but he's not cut out to be a coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Adrian Green. That is your host, Alex Perez. You heard it here first. And with that being said, that'll wrap up our show for today. And all kind of weather. Gators, stick together. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen. We love you and we pray God's best for you. And until next time, folks, there's never a dull moment in Gator Nation. You have yourself a good night, Mr. Alex.
Thank you, as always, Mr. Asian, for your for your opinions and the great work as always. We'll see
All
you.
right. Thank you, sir.
We'll see you for episode 7 next Monday.
All right, my friend. Well, you take care. And like I said, as always, hey, in all kind of weather, gators stick together. Have a good night, my friend.
Have a great night to you as well. And I hope and I pray that we will get a win.
Yep. Hopefully. Hopefully. We'll see you.
Thanks, partner. As always, good job.
All right. Thank you, sir. Keep up the good work. Good night.
Good night. We want to. Well, guys, in all kinds of weather, Gators stick together. I am your host, Alex Perez. On behalf of my co-host, Adrian Green, and my guest co-host, Mr. Collins, that uh, would have been here tonight, I want to say on behalf of all those people that make Gator Talk what it is, including me behind the scenes. We want to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you for episode 7 of this show we like to call Gator Talk. Good night, everybody, and God bless you.